All right, and then tonight we're going to talk about the school's PTAs. This will be tonight's strategy. Maybe you are looking to get involved in your child's PTA. Maybe you're already in the PTA. We're going to talk about how you can learn how they can benefit you and how they can benefit, of course, your real estate business in like a no salesy weird way, because let's be honest, we don't want to be the weird salespeople at the PTA, right? So we're going to talk about how to make that work for you in a very like non-salesy way. Sound good? Let me know. We want to before I dive in, quick heads up, as usual, there's always something for you to get out of this in addition to the training. In this case, we're going to talk about all the free resources that are all yours inside the group. So if you are looking for, something specific, at the end, I'm giving you all the free resources that you can claim with the appropriate, hashtags. So let me ask you a question. Do your children still attend school? Okay, if they do, drop me in a number 1. If you still have children that are in school. Do you, if they are, it doesn't matter what grade. So if you have children in school, have you considered joining the PTA? If this crossed your mind, feel free to put in the number 2. Or are you already like way ahead of the game and you are like a longtime PTA member, you're on the board, or you're somehow involved in the PTA kind of organization? Drop me a number 3. And if it's, maybe you are a 1 and a 3, let me know. So drop me in your numbers in the comments. I want to see where everybody's at in this group and see if this is something that might benefit you and your real estate business. So in the next 20 minutes, we will discuss how the relationships inside the organization, such as the PTA, can be used to rapidly grow your real estate business, okay? And we're talking about it in a way that is not salesy. That's the important part. This is actually the best way to show everybody what you and your real estate business are about. So, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So let's talk about it, because relationships can be cultivated anywhere we go, right? This is a relationship business. So for some, this may take place in places that they're already involved in. Some of you guys are already in a place, in an organization, you're somehow linked to this. So can you leverage this? And with all the back to school talk, all the back to school, craziness that's been going on lately, why not talk about how to leverage this? And let's talk about one of the biggest benefits the PTA really has. It is super neighborhood and school boundary specific, which means it is hyper localized. Super, super important. So, oh, hey, Tawny. Yes, you were on the committee chair, which is, I think, really, really good to have your opinion on here. So feel free to chime in. Real quick on the definition. The PTA stands for Parent Teacher Association, a school-based organization with a mission to make the school a better place for children to learn. Parents and students work together with teachers to volunteer in classes, raise money for school supplies, and generally support the school's efforts. That's what the PTA is all about. So within the PTA, what I want to go over are certain positions. And based on those positions, we're going to look into some of them, like the general makeup of them. And I want you to discover some of those things that you can maybe, insert yourself into this and your real estate business. So, for example, the PTA board consists of a variety of roles. One of them is, of course, the PTA president, right? That's the position that I personally probably don't think I would be envious to have. It's just a a lot of work, a lot of responsibility, and a lot of eyes on you. So it's time consuming, in my opinion. So, but if this is, your perfect position, if you're like the born leader ready to take on the president role, you have a lot of influence in some of the decisions. So that is definitely one of the pluses on the PTA president position. Now, there's also the executive vice president, of course, stepping in when the president isn't there, overseeing events, activities, partnering with various coordinators that are in the PTA, and making sure everything runs smoothly. So again, a position that has a little bit more responsibility, also a little bit more influence. Now, those next couple ones right here, in my opinion, have a very great way for us to insert ourselves in those positions because they are tied to what we do best. So the room parent program coordinator recruits room parents for each class, organizes and trains volunteer room parents. So what it does is it helps you get to know the people within your community year over year, new people, new parents. You're going to have relationships that you're building with them. So training those is a great position for you to get into the community and into the different classrooms. So you don't have to rely on just your child's grade, but you also get to dive into the others. Double win, right? Now, the next one is my personal favorite. It's the ways and means, or also known as the fundraising coordinator. You are in that position coordinating all major school fundraisers. You research the fundraiser idea. You work with fundraising companies. You help committees to form the goal, propose calendars. It's a lot of organizational stuff. However, you're also getting really into, who can help us, who would be a good fit for us. And it would be a great way to also demonstrate, this is what I do for a living. I am really good at making sure that our goals are being met. We get the most exposure on our fundraisers, just like we get the most exposure on my listings. So you want to kind of like back pat off of this and be like, oh my gosh, this is what I excel at because this is what I do for a living. So I think there's a really great opportunity right here in that specific position. Now, the next one is the membership coordinator. Create a membership drive theme, coordinate membership drives in the fall, set up a booth at the book back to school barbecue. Again, it's being in front of community members, in front of other entities that are within that PTA organization. So you have the ability to just, again, showcase what you can come up with, showcase your creativity, showcase your organizational, showcase how you can handle everything that's going on within that position. So my personal favorites are those three here, just because there's a lot of demonstration that you can do along the way. Now, there is also the publicity and outreach coordinator. So you're partnering with communication coordinator to build communication within the school and within the community. So this one, in my opinion, is a really good one. Once you start speaking to the community on a PTA level, you will automatically have your kind of name distributed in a way that will help you be recognized once you are getting your business off the ground as well. Communication, you're partnering with a publicity and outreach coordinator in building communication within the school. You're working with the school principal, staff, and PTA to better reach out to the whole community via website, weekly email updates, calendar. So this one, again, is more a little bit behind the scenes, still pretty decent in terms of, demonstrating how organized somebody can be, how well you handle things. So good one right there. It's just a little bit less community involved. So I do like the publicity and outreach coordinator a little better. And then there's a recording secretary. I don't think there's too much there, to be honest with you. I'm going to cover the other positions, but I also think that those are not necessarily benefiting us as much from a business perspective. We've got the treasurer, historian, and the auditor. And then the parliamentarian for the non-voted position appointed by the executive board, which updates the bylaws and is familiar with the PTA guidelines. So those four, in my opinion, are kind of wayside, just because they don't really let us demonstrate one of our skills as good. Treasurer maybe, but only if you're like super heavily number oriented and you really want to appeal to the number of people. That's kind of, I don't know, not my favorite position, I would think, in terms of my personal self. But maybe you're really, loving the numbers and you have a lot of parents that are into numbers and you can demonstrate your skills this way. Might be for you. So there are many positions within an organization that will get you in touch or in front of more people. So build the relationships and grow your reach. That's really the biggest takeaway here. As being on the PTA, there is definitely a way for you to reach so many more people. Did this make sense so far? We went over the organizations. We went over, who is in the PTA and what is their responsibility in that particular field, highlighting some and most commonly used the marketing things within the PTA, where I think there's a lot of opportunity lying. If this made sense so far, let me know. Give me a thumbs up in the comments so we can move on. And then we're going to dive into part 2, which is a big question of, do you advertise yourself? Do you advertise yourself? So I put a picture together for you guys. What do you think? Do you advertise yourself in the PTA? Let me know in the comments. Are you saying, hey, I'm in the PTA. Want to buy a house? Love that lady. Amazing, amazing pictures. And answer, no, we do not start shouting and screaming, hey, I'm in the PTA, come buy a house with me. It doesn't work like that. If you start doing that, you pretty much are not going to come back to the PTA. You're going to be voted out of that house. The advertisement of your business cannot be your primary objective when supporting an organization, period. Okay, I understand everybody wants to say, hey, I'm a realtor, come buy a house with me. But when it comes to advertisement and your business and you're supporting somebody else as your primary goal, your support needs to be the primary, resource. It needs to be your primary goal, because this will automatically then convert into authenticity. Okay, and that's a big one. You want to be authentic when it comes to supporting those things. So no advertisement, but that doesn't mean you cannot advertise. So we're going to get into that next. The easiest form to make sure everybody's kind of aware is the secondary marketing. Now this can happen based on your dress code, your appearance. A subtle name tag might also be permissible. Branded apparel of like, PTA event, just got here, had some business stuff to do, still wearing a name tag, don't mind me. I've seen people do that, and it is not something that's frowned upon. At least where I'm at, I've seen people come with their name tags. And just generally, like, how you appear is really making a difference. Now, if I show up and I'm in my, shorts and I'm in my flip-flops and in my tank top, and this is how I appear to the PTA all the time, this is how I appear to events all the time, what kind of perception do you think I will be giving them when it comes to, well, what does she do for a living? So if you're really looking to use this to advertise, always be aware of, like, how do I look? What's my dress code? Do I wear a name tag? And then just, keep steady and keep it in a way that is not salesy. You don't have to say like, oh, here's my name tag. This is, by the way, what I do for a living. It all comes in due time. Okay. So make sure that you are very familiar with secondary marketing techniques. So learn how to successfully market yourself and your business passive aggressive with secondary marketing. Because remember, our goal is to support another organization. That's our primary goal. And we need to make sure that all the other things are, falling in line. So secondary marketing, if you have any other ideas of secondary marketing, feel free to drop it in the comments. I'd love to see what else worked for you guys, if there's anything you want to share. But those are the most subtle ways of, like, branded logos. We had trunk and treat, and the trunk and treat also was a way to, have your business side come out for Halloween. So it was very much themed to make sure it was showcasing that business. And I wish one of our attendees had a picture. She had the most amazing trunk and treat. I'm going to give her a shout out right now. It was an awesome trunk and treat for her real estate business. Cat in the Hat themed. I still remember it because I thought it was the coolest thing. And it was a really, really nice, subtle way to just market the business site while still also being in the PTA. Was this useful so far? Did this make sense? Secondary marketing, primary marketing, and please do not shout to the world, I'm in the PTA. Come buy a house with me, right? Which brings us then to the last part of it, which is what does it take for people to notice? Because like all the things that we do, are people going to notice? And this is part number 3. Remember some of the positions we talked about? President, vice president, various coordinators, community outreach, public relations. No matter what the position is in the PTA, there is ways for you in every single one of them to demonstrate your expertise when it comes to your personal business. All you need to do is really find the commonalities where you're like, well, this is what they do here. This is really similar with what I do in my real estate business. Well, they're trying to get the word out for a fundraiser. I'm trying to get a word out for my listing. I'm trying to get as many people into my open house, and they're trying to get as many people into their, event. It's a very common, there's a lot of commonalities where you can just like, okay, how can I leverage that to the best way possible? And spreading the word is the biggest part of what you should, focus on. So find a position within the PTA that helps you figure out how can I reach more people. Okay, spread the word about the event that's happening right there. Reach out to local businesses and start building a true, meaningful relationship. So if you're in charge of the ways and means coordinator or fundraising coordinator, you have you're partnering up with other businesses within the community, and you can just say, hey, this is, what we want to do for our local elementary school. Will you donate this? And at the same time, you're also getting to know that business. You see the businesses that are saying, yes, I want to support my local elementary. And you see the businesses who are saying, no, we're here for the profit. You can then decide where you want to build your relationships further. Okay, you can say like, hey, I've done this amazing fundraiser with you at the PTA. I loved everything about it. You have so many core values that are so similar to mine. I'd love to interview you and showcase your business from my real estate side. Would that be okay? Their answer is going to be, yes, please. I would love that, because it's additional exposure for them. You're starting to build meaningful relationships within this, path of yours that you're going on. So other things that you're also going to be connecting with is 3 different groups of people. When you are part of the PTA, you're not only going to connect with local parents, right? You're also going to connect with the small business owners, as well as connecting with the local teachers and staff from that school. So there's 3 groups of people that all of a sudden you're now speaking to. Every year you're going to have, different parents, new parents, and you can just cast your net and it's going to grow wider and bigger year over year. Again, everything we talk about is most often a long-term commitment, because if you just hop on 1 year and be like, I'm in the PTA for a year, and it's like, then you're not, and 3 years later you are, it doesn't make a lot of sense. So, some of those positions really long-term of what you do, and just be involved. Local small businesses, again, this is something that you can just be involved in. Talk with them and see like, hey, we'd love to do that. The fundraiser was a huge hit last year. Let's bring it back, or can we make it better? That's a really good question always to ask. Can we make it better? Because 100 times the answer is yes, you can always make something better. And obviously connecting with local teachers and the staff is also a great way for you to just build your brand and build your business even further. So when you demonstrate your marketing abilities, like the whole world is watching and you're generating results for them, you are sure to be noticed. It amplifies your message. It has people watching out and it's like, wow, she's really good at what she does. What does she do for a living? It's like, oh, she sells houses. It's like, oh, that makes sense. Like, she's really good. You really want to make sure that any marketing effort you are undertaking for the public in a different situation is just showcasing, oh my God, this is what she does. She's really, really good at it. Amplify your message. Use those different outlets. And yes, you might not be selling somebody a house, but you might be selling somebody a fundraiser raffle ticket for all I care, right? So it's just really making sure that what you do with the most amount of authenticity and passion that you truly have. So don't fake it because you just think like, oh, I gotta try and be in the PTA. If your heart is not there, I don't think you should be, exploring this option. But if you're generally wanting to make an impact and you want to help out your school and you want to be there for a lot of those changes as your children grow through that particular stage in life, consider that maybe it might be a good way for you to just amplify your message, get it out there, and at the same time demonstrate at what you are good at. So your results should always, always, always be able to speak for itself. There is no need to shout on top of your lungs, I'm in the PTA and I'm also a realtor, okay? So your results of what you do inside that organization need to really speak for itself. Did this make sense tonight? You see where you can really just amplify your message, become better at what you do, and build relationships along the way. Make sense? Give me some love. I'd like to see some hearts tonight. Feel all lovey. It's been a decent start to a decent week so far. I haven't started e-learning yet, so I guess that's keeping the spirits up. I'm starting Wednesday, so fingers crossed. And let me introduce myself real quick for the new faces inside the group. My name is Janine Sasso. I am an active realtor and team leader. I run a 6-figure real estate business. I'm a hyper-local marketing machine, and I'm the founder of the Hyper-Local Real Estate Agent. Welcome to the group. I built my business with zero sphere, and I'm a busy mom of 2 little kids, so I know that time constraints are no joke. And I'm not in the PTA. Just throwing that out there. So, real quick, I talked about in the beginning that you have the ability to gain access to all of our resources as well. And if you ever get stuck, I offer you to have a 1-hour consultation call booked that you can book right here at bit.ly hyperlocal agent strategy call. It's kind of like the coach in the pocket. So this way you have everything you need every Monday. I want to make sure the tools that are free are back in front of you because they're there. So please, 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 if there's something that is there that you need, just drop me the name of it and I'll get you that link sent because I want to make sure that you're really taking advantage of all the free stuff I put out there already too. Okay. So this way, the free stuff is in pink, so there is our light version of the social media calendar to just get, some engagement back and make sure that you can beat that algorithm. Also, if you're interested to see what my 25 mailing examples look like, some ideas of things that you can mail, you can just do a hashtag 25 mailings. One of my absolute favorites, if you are brand new to geographic farming, I highly encourage you to get the geographic farming cheat sheet in which you will learn how to select a profitable farm that will generate leads for you, okay? This one is one of the best, most amazing resources that, in my opinion, is inside the group. 100% free. It's like an 8-page workbook that will get you through how to select a profitable farm that will make you money. That's a really important one. And if you're really big on video, I do offer you a 175 content idea guide that you can get and just get some video ideas going. If you're not camera shy, you may want to consider that. Yes, there's paid ones, so if you want to know anything about our paid courses, let me know. But for this one tonight, it's all about the free resources, making sure that you guys are set up for success. So if you haven't started e-learning today, if you are starting it in the next couple of days, I wish you the best of luck. I think we're all in this together. And if you have any other questions, please drop them in the chat box, drop them below, and then I will see you guys sometime this week. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.